Hi YouTube friends. I'm in West Virginia, like I said, visiting my mother, and so I'll share a little footage of my trip up here yesterday and then a little walk around her house, and I'll end, oh, and you get to see her dog, Lily. She's a corgi. Oh my goodness, she has so much personality. So then I'm also going to share with you a couple of pictures, maybe just one little sneaky picture of me in my finished homespun sweater. Yes, it's done. That's going to be, I think, the next video or two. There's so much footage finishing that thing and it took forever. So that's coming up. I just want you to know it's done. I'll give you one sneaky picture. Oh, look at my hair coming down. I'm trying to do this side
Well, this
braid.
is some footage from the drive yesterday to West Virginia. And the trip starts in North Carolina, northern North Carolina. And as soon as you get past Rocky Mount and you get toward Warrenton, it's very rural and the landscape is just beautiful. And the little towns are just precious. They're old and have brick downtown buildings, but they're not derelict looking, and they have lovely large homes along the streets, and just so beautiful. And as you begin to head into Virginia, it starts to get a little mountainous and a little rolling, and lots of trees. Oh, look at this old barn. Isn't that beautiful? And so the dappled lighting on the road was just lovely. I drive this route, even though I have to use my GPS very carefully not to get lost, because I hate driving on interstates, and this view is just beautiful. There's hardly any traffic on these roads. It was, always rare to see many other cars. And I just love the trees and the little houses and the farms. And as you go through Virginia and you get to Chase City and Charlotte Courthouse and Appomattox, you feel like you're stepping back in time. You really do. I love driving underneath the archways of the trees. And then you get to West Virginia. So beautiful, big open skies, and you're rather high here. This is an interstate, but again, this is Interstate 64 in West Virginia, and there's very little traffic on it, thankfully. And the sky was beautiful. I'm not watching the camera. I had to delete so much footage. Oh, there's my favorite house in West Virginia. Just got a little glance of that. This is the road up to my mother's house, and there's beautiful farmland on either side. This is a little cut down to a river where there's such big stone on the left side of the road going down and the right side of the road going back up. That's one of my favorite little parts to drive. And then you come back up onto this plateau that's above the Greenbrier River. And the farmland is just stunning. And you look back and see little teeny white farmhouses stuck back from the road. There's a really big house. That's another favorite house. It's very beautiful. And sometimes it is hard to keep your eyes on the road because the scenery is just so gorgeous. There's a little farmhouse stuck back there. One of my brothers was lucky enough to marry a girl whose family was from this area. And so they eventually moved here and bought a farm and have lived here all these years. And then my parents, when they got elderly, decided to move here to live near them. So it's always been a place, even though we've never lived here, to come to. This is another little road along the way, even smaller, kind of a lane and a half. I love this section through here because it twists and turns. And then after a little bit, you dip down and you come to a good-sized curve, and it opens out, and you can see the hills, the sky, the cattle, the roofs of the farmhouses. When the trees are not in leaf, you can see my brother's house from here. And so when we used to come to their farm, in the summer often, or I don't think we ever came at Christmas, but because it would probably be snowy and cold. But they're up this road, and they have a pick-your-own blueberry farm, so they have visitors come every summer to their farm, lots and lots of them. This is the entrance to their farm. They have a nice big red barn there. And then after a bit more driving, we come to the cemetery where my father is buried. That's a very special place. And then after a bit more driving out in the countryside, we eventually come to my mother's house, which you'll see just for a second here. I don't know why I didn't get a better picture of it. They are just gorgeous. I don't remember them being this big before.
Well,
there we go.
I'm glad, they bloom later after everything else shows off. I brought the original back from England with a D&D.
Hey, Lily.
We'll see when she thinks to come to see her.
Of course. I want to get this too. Wow. Woof. 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 No bites. Good girl. Good girl. You're so mean. My brother keeps a garden here next to my mother's house. It's a beautiful bush over there. But here's the garden plot at the top of this hill. This year, he planted it with pumpkin and butternut squash. And I think there's a few pumpkins still left in there. Let's go look. Here's a pumpkin that's trying to turn yellow. He carefully took everything out of here, but let's see if there's still some. Oh, there's one over here. Here's one over on the edge. I don't really know why he left some. I'm sure he can tell me. There's a very green one hanging there. Let's walk in here and see what we see. There's one there. There's a rotten one over there. See some green ones too. There's a green one over there. I hope there's no snakes in here, but I don't think this is a very snaky area. Not like where we live. See, there's one. That's not a very big one. There's a really good sized one over there on the fence. This pasture over here, oh, it's just so beautiful. He does such beautiful work as a farmer. He keeps cattle in here, just a couple, some years. There's a little green one there. Just a beautiful, beautiful place to live. When my parents lived in North Carolina in the mountains, I didn't think they could ever live in a place as beautiful. They had a view of the Blue Ridge Mountains. If I can find a picture of it, I'll post it here. It was $1 million view. It really was. But I must say, this is really beautiful as well. Oh, I wonder where her rhubarb is. I should go find her rhubarb. See if I can find a nice way out of here without stepping on anything scary. Alright. Oh, there's another pumpkin. And there's another pumpkin. Is there anything more fun than kicking big crackly leaves in the fall? These are maple leaves. The maples come down first. They're yellow, so the yellow color we're seeing here, these are maples. Then the oaks come, they color next, and they're red.